Hello grade 9s, starting from 6.3 we will learn how to solve linear inequalities. What is a linear inequality? It's inequality. The inequality means it's not equal as opposed to the linear equations. A linear inequality means the left side is not equal to the right side. We have 4 different inequality symbols to describe the inequality. We have less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. Most of you guys learned those 4 symbols in the elementary schools already. Let's look at the picture here. In this picture, I can see a number 8 and a number 3. And number 8, we all know this one is larger than number 3. If we want to use an inequality sign to represent the relationship between these two numbers, we say 8 is greater than. So this greater than sign looks like an alligator mouth. The alligator mouth always opens towards the large number. Like this less than sign, if I have A on the left side, B on the right side, this one can be called A is less than B, or A is smaller than B. B should be a larger number than A. It's mainly because this alligator mouth opens towards B. If we flip this sign is called greater than or larger than. If I put an A here, a B here, this time the alligator mouth opens towards A. So A is a larger number or a greater number than B. If we have a horizontal line, sometimes we still use a kind of parallel line, which is a parallel to the bottom slope. This symbol involves 2 meanings. One meaning is this part. This part is less than. And this one horizontal line represents equal to. So if I have A here, B is on the right side, I say this one is A is less than or equal to B. Likewise, this symbol represents A is larger than or greater than or equal to B. Of course, we have more different kind of words to represent all those inequality symbols. Sometimes we use under. What's the meaning of under? For example, A is under B. That means A is less than B. So under is the same as less than. Over, A is over B. A is exceeding B. That means A is greater than B. Minimum. If you know the minimum value, that means this is the least value you know. The rest of the values should be larger than this given value. So minimum will show me larger than sign or greater than sign. Maximum. If I know the maximum value, this one is the top value. That means the rest of the values should be less than this given value. So maximum also implies less than, no more than. For example, A is no more than B. That means A is less than or equal to B. No more than involves the equal sign. At least, this is the minimum value. If you know the age is at least 7, that means 7 is the youngest age, is the least. So the rest of the ages should be larger than 7 or equal to 7. So this at least also includes equal sign. Let's look at example 2. We need to write an inequality to describe a situation. We need to determine a variable first, then write an inequality to describe each different situation. Let's look at the first one. Contestant entrance must be at least 18 years old. The key word in this situation is at least. At least means 18 is the least, is the youngest age. So that means the rest of the ages should be larger than or equal to 18. If I define the variable, let's say, let A be the age of contest entrance. This variable A should be greater than or equal to 18. The temperature has been below -5 degrees Celsius for the last week. Below represents less than. If we let the temperature be T, or we can also say let T represent the temperature. In this situation, T is less than -5. Question C. You must have 7 items or less. Have 7 equals 7 or less than 7 to use the express checkout line at the grocery store. We can see this design in a lot of grocery stores. This one means the items you purchased should be less than or equal to 7. D. Scientists have identified over 400 species of dinosaurs. Over means larger than 400. Let's say S represents the species of dinosaurs. So this one means S is larger than or greater than 400. Example 3. Determine whether a number in A, B, C, D, E here is a solution of an inequality. Right now we are given an inequality. B is greater than or equal to -4. What I will do is to graph this inequality on the number line. B is greater than or equal to -4. That means -4 is the least value, is the minimum value. Starting with -4, I will highlight, or you can say shade, the part of the number line with all the numbers greater than -4. So if we wanted the number greater than 4, I will highlight the number line all the way to the right from -4. In this blue region, you will see every single number will be greater than or equal to -4. So right now, let's look at a -8 on the number line. -8 is this point, and I find that this red point is not in the blue region. This one means this one is not the solution of this inequality. Let's look at -3.5. -3.5 is between -4 and -3. It's the halfway between -4 and -3. So I will use the red dot on the number line to represent -3.5. And I find this red dot is in the blue region. This one shows -3.5 is one solution of this inequality. -4. -4 is on the left bound of this blue region. And the -4 is included in this inequality as well. So we say -4 is a solution of this inequality. -4.5. -4.5 is on the halfway between -5 and -4. This time I will see this point, the red dot, is not in the blue region. This one demonstrates that -4.5 is not the solution of this inequality. 0, we can see 0 on the number line is here. And this 0 is in the blue region. So this 0 is one of the solutions. Through example 3, we know if I can use the number line and highlight a region for the inequality, then I can visualize one inequality. Let's look at example 4. Let's look at how we can graph inequalities on a number line. We can illustrate the solutions of an inequality by graphing them on a number line. For example, A is greater than 3. The solution is all numbers greater than 3. But 3 is not a part of the solution. We draw an open circle. So we use an open dot to represent this 3 is not included in this inequality. This inequality shows all the numbers should be greater than 3 on the number line. All the numbers greater than 3 is on the right side of 3. So I will use the red color to shade the part or the range on the number line. So starting with 3, I use the red color to show all the numbers can move to the far right. All those numbers in the red region represent all numbers greater than 3. For B is less than or equal to -5. In this case, I have the equal sign in this inequality. This inequality shows the solution should be all numbers less than or equal to -5. Since -5 is a part of the solution, we can draw a shaded circle, or we can say a closed dot, to represent -5 is in shaded region on the number line. The rest of the numbers should be less than -5. So I will start with -5 and move all the way to the left on the number line. So I will use the color red to represent the inequality solutions. After we learned how to graph a linear inequality on a number line through example 4, let's look at 3 more examples. Graph each inequality on a number line. Provide 3 possible solutions. Let's look at the first one. T is greater than -5. There's no equal sign in this inequality. That means -5 is not the solution of this inequality. So if I want to graph this inequality on the number line, you start with -5. Since -5 is not one of the solutions in this inequality, I will use the open circle to represent -5 is not the solution. T is greater than. That means the rest of the numbers are greater than -5. All the numbers which are greater than -5 should be on the right side of -5. So I highlight this region and use an arrow to show the numbers can go forever on the right side. All those numbers, even if you go on forever on the right side, all those numbers are greater than -5. Let's look at 3 possible solutions from the red region. In this red region, you can read a lot of infinitely many solutions which satisfy this inequality. Right now, I only need to illustrate 3 possible solutions. You can write down, for example, -4, -3, -2. Right now, let's look at B. 0.5 is greater than or equal to A. A lot of students don't like this way to represent an inequality because this variable is on the right side and then the number is on the left side. Some students will have trouble in identifying which one is greater, which one is smaller. No worries, I only need to look at the direction of this inequality sign. Remember, the alligator mouth always opens towards the larger number. So here, right now, this alligator mouth opens towards A or equal to A. That means A is a greater number. And this number is greater than 0.5. Let's locate 0.5 on the number line first. 0.5 is the halfway between 0 and 1. Since 0.5 is one of the solutions in this inequality, this reason why I used the shaded circle, or we can say the closer dot, to represent 0.5 is one solution in the inequality. The rest of the numbers, A should be greater than 0.5. Greater than, that means all the numbers should be on the right side of 0.5, all the way to the right. So this green region shows that all the numbers here are greater than or equal to 0.5. In the green region, you can find 3 possible solutions very easily. For example, you can write down 1, 2, 3. The last one, P is less than -25/3. Some students will have trouble in locating this number on the number line. If you have trouble in locating this fraction on the number line, let's change this one to a decimal. -25/3, the decimal should be -8.3333 forever. It's a repeating decimal. After I change this fraction to the decimal, you will find it's way easier for you to find where this decimal number is on the number line. -8.333 should be on the left side of -0.83, but on the right side of -9. So -8.333 is between -9 and 8, but a little bit closer to -8. And for this -8.3 repeating bar, we know there is no equal sign. Since there is no equal sign, I will use the open circle to show this -8.3 bar is not one of the solutions in this inequality. Right now, which part should I shade with the blue on the number line and look at this inequality sign? This inequality sign means this one should be a larger number, P is a smaller number. For P is less than this blue number, P should be on the left side of this negative 8.333. So I will shade the left side with blue and all the way to the left. I will use an arrow sign to show the number can keep going to the far left. All the numbers in the region are less than negative 8.333 forever. So let's write out 3 possible solutions. You can write out negative 12, negative 11, negative 10.